The caramel cigarette. You gotta be real careful. Bob! I should fucking kill you. Okay, today, what we're doing is we're gonna be recreating an old, forgotten 1950s patent. So, there is an old patent, it's pretty infamous on the internet. At least it's infamous in my inbox because I've been sent it about 50 times over the last 2 years. What it is effectively, it's a patent for a self-lighting cigarette. And the idea is that it is a cigarette that on the end of it has a little bit of like the goop on the end of a matchstick, and there's a striker pad on the side of the cigarette box, and you can strike it and it'll light it for you. That seems incredibly convenient, and I'm not really sure why they never ended up making it. I don't know, man. It seems like a pretty nice little convenience thing. So today we're gonna try to make it ourselves using some matches and some more of these bulk rate cigarettes that I've got, and we're gonna see how well it works. These have been getting sent to me for over a year now, and I haven't really messed with it much, but I figured today was as good a time as any to try it out. Now, I did some research on what the best way to get basically a matchstick top on a cigarette would be. There's a couple different methods I looked up. I found some guys who were like, oh, here's how you make the goop on the top of the matches at home using chemistry. And some of the materials are easy to get, and some of them are like crazy dangerous oxidizers that I could never fucking obtain no matter what I did. I found a couple different formulations. All of them had at least one chemical that was gonna be really, really hard to get. And so I realized, you know what's better than that? Maybe I should just shuck the top off of a couple actual matches which already have it mixed up. Take a knife, shave the top off of like 100 matches, grind that up into a nice fine powder, and then get a flammable sticky substance on the end of the cigarette, dip kind of the corner down in there, and then fucking roll it in the strike material, and then that should give us a strikeable cigarette. That's the idea, at least, right? Red phosphorus stream. Yeah, it turns out they get a little iffy if you be buying red phosphorus, because there's a certain other substance that you can be making using red phosphorus. That said, a lot of these things where it was like, how do I make the stuff on the end of a matchstick? And it was like, well, first I need red phosphorus, and wrong, no you don't. They haven't made matchsticks that are strike anywhere in a long time because they're prone to just fucking go off. Red phosphorus is on the strike pad. This is red phosphorus. So if you need a source of red phosphorus, what you want to do is get a bunch of match strike pads, and then you can soak these in acetone, I believe, or some kind of solvent to actually extract it, then you boil it off, whatever. But I'm not here to teach you how to make meth. I'm here to teach you how to make a cigarette that lets you can strike it like a match. So we're not really going to be worrying about the strike pads so much. We're gonna be worrying more about the goop on the end. Hang on, what happens if you... Hang on, we're gonna do an epic match life hack. What happens if you do this and you strike the one on the end? Whoa, that's cool. It's gonna smell like matches in here. How much does it cost to make things like this? Well, what we're gonna be making today, not very expensive at all. Paid $5 for a 2-pack of Matchbox. I got 4 just in case, so $10. A pack of cigarettes, and the binder that I'm gonna be using, because I was trying to think like, oh, do I just mix this shit with glue? Like, what do I want to do here? And I realized maybe the best thing to mix it with is sugar. So, I'm gonna be making a sugar syrup, and if that doesn't work, then I have some potassium nitrite that I can add. That will definitely light. Little tiny glob of rocket sugar on the edge there, and then, you know, cover it in the striking powder, and then that should be able to strike light long enough to get the smoke going, and then, hell yeah, man, that should work. Now, I don't know what taking a hit off that straight firework pack is gonna do to my lungs, but... you know, maybe that was part of the reason why this never really took off. Matches are fun. How can you not enjoy doing this? All right, you know what? Never mind. Matches suck, actually. What do we tell you about playing with matches? Hang on, let's see if I can read this Lomi message before it gets consumed by the flames. All right. A bolt of lightning can toast 100,000 slices of bread. Each bolt of lightning is worth 5 billion joules. This means the average toaster can be powered for 84,000 minutes, which results in 100,000 pieces of toasted bread. Okay, I was able to read it before it burned. That's epic, Lomi. So, what we need to do is get a little setup so that we can easily shut... We need somewhere to put the good shit that we take off of it. Maybe this is too shiny for the... Avoid it. Alright, excellent. This will go, I'm sure this will not take long at all. You know what would be actually easier? What if we taped a razor blade to the side so I could just go like that? Hang on, hang on. Smarter, not harder, they say. I think what I'll do is I'll swap the one in my, thing for a fresh one. And then I'll tape this guy to the side. Because if we have them like that... Yeah, dude, look at the contour. That shit works. Yeah, that should work well. Oh, baby. Okay, wait, that doesn't work as well as I thought it would. Okay, no. But that... Okay, no. But this kind of works. Dude, we're actually, like, efficiency maxing here. Just don't cut my finger open on the blade and we'll be good. Wouldn't crushing be easier? Wait. Oh my gosh. That instantly... Alright, hang on. Why do I have this fucking pinch hazard when I could just do that? Oh my gosh, that's actually so much easier. I didn't realize how fragile it was. And you don't get any piece of wood in there when you do this. What the hell? Bet you thought I was gonna do it. Wait, what happens if you lay a bunch of these flat and then you rolled something heavy over the heads? You would probably end up with a bunch of match powder, right? Hammer? No, that's too brutish. I'm thinking all you need to do is you have draw wheel that sucks the match in, and then that runs against the head this way, and then there's another set of motorized wheels up here that run against the head the other way. So that way you can just stick the matches into a little thing that goes and like runs them through, right? I was gonna spend more of the stream automating match circumcision. This is a fun engineering stream. Why would you not want me to do that? I imagine the majority of the stream is gonna be match circumcision, I fear. You know what? Actually, now we're not using this anymore. I'm getting this fucking razor blade off of here. I feel like I'm gonna accidentally cut myself on it. Guys, what if we built the world's tiniest campfire out of matchsticks? Yay, yippee, yay. Anyway, what are we doing here? Get a drop of gasoline on that bonfire? Nah, it'll be fine as is, honestly. The Joker should have done that instead. He should have said, "Want to see a magic trick? I'm gonna make your foreskin disappear." Oh, stuff you guys say. Jewish slab be like the penis meta is circumcised. Hang on, wait. Check this out. You light the end, it should light down the tail of each. He's lost focus. What do you mean I've lost focus? No, I'm simply doing experiments. Local man invents the fuse, like in Bug's Life. Does this happen in Bug's Life? I've never watched Bug's Life, despite all of you guys calling me a Disney adult. Never watched it because my aunt said she got Bug's Life for us to watch, but she actually had the DreamWorks movie Ants, which is like Bug's Life, but they say asshole in it. Mom was not pleased with that swap. She was like, what? How could they make this? And then she had to fucking rewatch every Disney movie from there on out. Little did we know, it wasn't even a fucking Disney movie, dog. She got bamboozled. Every time I think of stuff in Pixar that shouldn't be there, it's the Mater. The Mater joke is funny. That's one of the only funny parts of Cars. Cars is a weird movie. Disney movies would never have any swearing or even like PG tier language in it. But then like Cars does. And it also has just a couple like random adult references out of nowhere. It was still like, it's like PG tier, but like other Disney movies just didn't do that at the time. Why are there houses in Cars? Who was living in them? Why, like, when does the Cars universe begin, brother? We're going solely from Cars 1 lore because that was obviously the only one that they were actually planning on making. But, like, it makes no sense at all. There's a car that's like 100 years old, and it's like one of the first cars ever created, but there's an implication of there being like older society beyond the cars. And it's like, nah, dog, that 100-year-old car should be effectively like one of the only humans alive type scenarios, except it's like literal primordial car. It would be like a human being alive 50 years after the very first human existed for the first time ever. When that happened, there was like another several thousand years to build up to the current era, whereas like in the Cars universe, it's just like, yeah, we have like society already, dog. And then it's like, okay, are cars like born, or are they... Is it like in the movie Robots by Blue Sky Animations that they just show up in a box and then you build them? Most reasonable critique of cars. I'm just asking questions, man. Where do they come from? Are they born, or are they manufactured? And if that's the case, then why at the one part where Lightning McQueen and the sexy woman car are going for a drive and he's up at some old gas station and it zooms in and it shows that around the gas station, there's little tiny car flies, like little cars with organic wings flying around it, which implies that they are not manufactured. They're fucking born. That, or there's a factory making car parasites. Where do the cars come from? How long have they been around? Before cars, were there carts? Was it like a little like 3-wheel cart? Was it pulled by a horse, or was it pulled by a car that looks like a horse? You sound crazy? I'm going crazy. Why does it not make any sense? I want to know the car genesis. I want the origin story. How will they even know what a horse is? Dog, they go cow tipping in the Cars movie. There are cars that are tractors, but they are not sentient to the same degree as Lightman McCoo and Mater. That implies that there's like lesser cars in the Carsiverse. Why do they have cows? I don't know, man. To plow the ground? What are they plowing the ground for? I guess to grow corn to make ethanol, because cars run on fuel. Isn't there a car pope? Yeah, he's the Pope Mobile, honestly, which implies there's also car Jesus, which implies that 2,000 years ago there was some kind of vehicle deity that died for the sins of the future vehicles, which is frankly alarming that would even need to happen. Someone theorized Cars happens while the Wall-E humans are gone. That doesn't make any sense. That's the Pixar theory. Trust me, I know. I'm a millennial, and every millennial in 2013, 14 was talking about that shit like it was the most clever thing of all time, and some of it ties together, but then it all falls apart when they introduce the cars. In deleted scenes, they show that the engine is the brain and heart of the cars, and it can be swapped between vehicles as swapping bodies, but that is deleted scene. Yeah, well, also, if we're going off the deleted scene-averse, there is not the first official trailer, but there was a teaser trailer for the first Cars movie that was on certain Disney DVDs and VHS tapes, and I know because I had one, and it starts with Mater hitting a bee that flies in front of the road, but it's not a car bee, it's a normal-ass bee! It's literally like a normal fucking bee! We can't think too much about it. If you think too much about it, then it all comes crumbling down. B-Movie is the first movie I saw in theaters as a kid where I realized movies could just not be good. Other movie was The Green Lantern. Green Lantern was a movie where I realized movies can just be straight up rancid dog shit. Also, isn't there also a scene where the two young teenage cars flash Lightning McQueen at the race, and they're flashing their headlights, but the implication is that they're flashing him? Is that not, like, in the movie? Or am I tripping on that one, too? Yes, that's also it. I'm telling you, man, Disney was tripping with this one. All their other movies, they're like, we're not even putting a hint of an adult joke in here. And in this one, they're like, yeah, we're actually, like, we're fine with this, actually, now. Female cars have to drive in the dark to stay wholesome. I don't think the headlights are literally tits. Well, if that's the case, then Lightning McQueen canonically has no tits because he's a race car. And he explains in the movie that the race cars don't have headlights because the track is always lit. And then the redneck car responds and he says, so is my cousin, but I don't think it's because he doesn't have headlights. Which is also an adult joke. This was literally the only movie that they decided to do this in. Now that I'm like thinking back on it, I'm remembering way too much about what happens in cars. Regular lights are fine, but high beams are high beams, you know? Yeah, that implies car weed exists, bro. Well, there's a stoned car in Radiator Springs. Remember, it's the hippie car. And the World War II car hates the hippie car. There's too many implications. That's also like a pretty good joke, I'm not gonna lie. Whoever's editing this is gonna have every clip of you filling the bowl talking about cars. If you watch the edits, then you know that most of the time me doing the menial tasks that fill out a lot of the center of the video are just me talking about random shit with chat. The age of the car is determined by the model year of the car. McQueen... Puberty Jones, are you implying that Mater fucks Lightning McQueen? If a car opens their trunk, is that a full spread eagle? Okay, you know what? I think we're done with the cars discussion. I think it ends here. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too picky on filtering that all out. Let me get my mortar and pestle. All right, hang on. We don't have a real mortar and pestle, so I'm having to pestle my fucking mort right now. Man, I wish I had a functional mortar and pestle. And no, I'm not using my food mortar and pestle for this. It'll have chemicals in it forever if I do that, and I don't want to get some fucked up evil disease. This is crushing it up into smaller pieces, but it's not a fast process, I can tell you that. Jeez. All right, hang on. Let me get my burner out real fast. All right. Once we have this, also, is this a fire hazard to have all these matchsticks here? Probably. Let's actually keep this pretty far away. I don't want it bursting into flames when I'm cooking my sugar. The sugar is gonna create the sticky base, and then we're gonna dip the end of the cig in the sugar, and then dip the sticky sugar end in the matchstick dust that we have over here. And that should produce a lightable, strikeable cigarette. We have our cigs here. Yeah, we have multiple dangers going on here. Don't worry about it, okay? Don't be getting caught up on the fucking details. Hang on a second. I'm gonna take a piss and also run up and get a spatula. Fuck! I fear it's over, dog. All right, hang on. I think we need to get rid of this, though. All right. Let's try that again. You actually don't want to stir too much once it starts because it changes the crystal structure. All right, turn off, kill the heat. All right, we're off the heat, but it's still quite hot. I think we might have survived. Literally seconds of difference between burnt and not burnt. All right, we gotta work pretty fast. The idea is we dip a corner in, and then we put it on some strike powder. It looks like it's fucking candy coated. Here, what if we pull it and really get a good dip in? We'll get some more coated than others, because I don't know how much of this it's gonna take. Keep in mind, no water in this, just sugar. Sugar is just being used as the binding agent here because it's the most flammable binding agent I can think of that isn't directly toxic. We're getting more fucked up cooking streams every day. I should have got this one's all full of fucking wood splinters. Working fast here, working fast. I feel like I should do one where I just dip the whole tip. The other ones don't work if this one, like, does. That don't work. I don't know what... that don't light. I don't know what's gonna do it, brother. Most of these, though, the idea is that I dip the corner, because then when it lights, the fire will travel up and light the actual part you want lit. Fuck it. I'll do another whole coat one. The caramel cigarette. Let's make some, like, dragon's floss or whatever. This shit's gonna harden to hard shards. Cleaning this pot's gonna be a pain in the ass. That's later's problem. Right now, let's get our powder that lights on fire instantly out of the way. Let's see how well this works. Oh! Okay, wait. Guys, hang on. I think it's time to experiment, because there may be some differing levels of lighting depending on how much sugar is on the end. Yes, that's exactly what you want to see on your cigarette. Yeah, that's working perfectly. Yeah, it's excellent, actually. Ooh, baby. Hang on. You know what we need? We need a different camera angle is what we need. All right, we got a couple different variations of our self-lighting cigarettes here. This one, it's only got a little dab. I think that one's probably gonna work pretty well. And then we have these, which you can see they get progressively more and more. You've got like, this one's got a little more on it, this one's got a little more, all the way up to just like a giant wad of match and sugar on the end. Let's see how this works. Let's also see how easy it is to strike. Okay, I'm already seeing one problem with this. Namely that, it doesn't stay lit long enough to actually fucking burn. And I think that might be a problem with the sugar. Luckily, we didn't use all of our matchstick powder. Hang on a second. Because that one didn't light. Can we get one to light at all? No. That one also didn't? What if, okay, hang on. One of these, surely, right? This one fucking broke trying to light it? Motherfucker. We going no filter? Nope. Nope. That one didn't work. I'm seeing the problem. I think it's that the binding agent, the sugar, takes more time to light on fire than I'm giving it with the amount of strike that I have on this. Motherfucker. Also another problem. Trying to strike these, you gotta be real fucking careful. Really, you want to strike on the side and kind of put your thumb on the top like this? Fuck. Alright, let's try our big kahuna here. Ah, fuck! It lit my fucking pliers on fire. That one wanted... It just needs more time. The ignition time is too low. Look how hard that is, too. Fucking lit and launched off. Here, we have another big gob one. Let's try this one. Oh! There we go. Oh, baby. Yeah, that worked. It basically lit, like, behind the rest. That shit's canoed like crazy, bro. Can you see that? That's the only one so far that actually lit the cigarette. Smoking that phosphorus. Don't worry, the smoke from the match heads are long gone by the time it actually catches on fire. We see a thicker coating. I think what we need is either one, a more reactive binder, or two, we need like layers where it's like layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, each one getting dipped in the sugar and then in the matchstick. All right, we had one that actually lit. Are we gonna get any others? Because we've already spent these, so we might as well try them. Speaking of, this fucking phosphorus strip doesn't want to light this shit for nothing. Nope. And it broke the cigarette. Motherfucker! I'm seeing the main problem here. I'm thinking that it doesn't have anything to do with the formulation of what's on the end. I think it has to do with the fact that if you strike it too hard, you break the cigarette in half. There are probably people not too big a fan of those. Hang on. Let me flush myself out with some Gamerades. That one also didn't work. So many of these are absolute duds. You know, it would literally be better to just have a box of cigarettes that had a lighter or a set of matchsticks built in than to have this shit. I'm absolutely understanding why this patent didn't take off. Motherfucker. Motherfucker! I even choked down on it. It literally burns too fast. I think the layer of sugar, the sugar needs to be flammable faster. Like the wood on a matchstick where it just burns real quick. Just nothing on that guy. I'm like trying to even like get it as soon as I can get it lit. So I don't think that this is the final idea on this. We can add potassium nitrite to our sugar, which will make it much more reactive because that's an oxidizer. And then the sugar itself should burn. Let's get this switched up. We need to make some minor revisions. We need to get this hot enough that it cooks the sugar out of the water. Put this in here too, because it also needs wash. That pot will never be the same. Quite the contrary. Especially, come on, bro. It's a stainless steel pot. You get a non-stick pot, cataclysm level event like this might have it like fucked for life. You get a stainless steel pot, you could fucking surface the whole layer of the pot off, and you'd be fine. If you fuck up a stainless steel pot in a way that you think is unrecoverable, take that thing out to the mill and just grind the top layer of the pot off. It'll work just like new. That shit is indestructible. I love stainless steel. Look, it's already boiling the sugar off. Proof in. Told y'all it was easy. And potassium nitrite. And a little extra. You want it heavier on the potassium nitrite. Let me wash my hands first. Don't eat this one. This is actually, this gets you on less government watch lists, which is literally the reason why I use it instead. I'm not even kidding you. This smells like shit compared to the other one. Holy shit. Alright, this one I didn't finesse the caramelizing as well, but also I blame the potassium nitrite. Should work here. And I'll do a deep I'll do a deep dip as well of this one. Just one, though, because we're starting to run out of match head. We'll see if this ends up working better or not. I'm trying to get these more on the edge, because I think that makes them work better, is when they're on the edge and not directly covering up the part you suck. Also, I don't really want to be inhaling the rocket sugar. Alright, new and improved self-lighting one. Now, hopefully it doesn't explode, because it is, it's got a strong oxidizer mixed with the sugar, which I'm hoping makes it burn a little longer. Well, we can use the other side so we get a fresher strike pad. Oh! Oh, baby! Did you see how much longer that burned? Alright, yeah, that's what we're talking about, buddy. That actually fucking rocks that worked. Let's crack open a cold Tsingtao to celebrate. Ah! Fuck, it didn't work! Ow! Shit! Oh, with it first, you don't succeed. Oh, that fucking rocks. Hang on, how universally does this work? Hang on, let's try one of the, because we want to make sure it's not just a fluke, right? This one doesn't want to strike very well. Fuck! Still have that problem to contend with. Let's try this guy. Oh, baby, but when it works, it works. I can't believe we actually came up with a fucking chemical solution here. I don't think I've ever had a stream where I'm like, let's add an extra chemical to it, and it actually fucking fixed the problem. What's the material actually made of? Oh, on the end? Oh, hey, mint, by the way. The end is made of crushed up matchsticks. So we had them all in here. I took, you can see all the sticks here. I took the end off of about 300 matchsticks, and then the adhesive is made from sugar and potassium nitrate, or potassium nitrite, which is effectively a sugar rocket. It's because potassium nitrite is an oxidizer, and then the sugar is a fuel. So initially I tried these with just sugar. Let me see if I've got one here, and they didn't really work. Yeah, they go out before they can actually light the cigarette. But this one, with the potassium nitrite in there, it burns the sugar. It gets the sugar ignited, because it has that oxidizer, and then the sugar burns long enough to actually ignite the cigarette. Dude, the Tsingtao is such a good beer, actually. I gotta get another case of this stuff. It's KNO3, so nitrite, right? I'm not a chemistry expert, I'm an engineer. We're being a little wasteful, but don't worry, these are fake SIGs. These are not real SIGs. Twitch! There, I get extra bonus points for not promoting nicotine abuse. Not real SIGs, just for demo purposes. But you can really smoke them. Motherfucker. Okay, that one didn't have enough sauce on the end to actually... That dude! The potassium nitrite actually works so well. That is shockingly effective. Also, it looks cool as shit. Assuming you're not an idiot like me and keep breaking the cigarette. I think that also has to do with the coating. Like, on this one, where it's, like, very fine powder of the match heads. And then directly on the sugar, there's not, like, edges. I think actually having the bigger chunks of material gives it, like, crags to, like, scratch and get the friction going. And I think that makes it actually, like, work better.